Are you ready? Hi, I'm Tumi. I'm a queer auntie and I'm confused.
Hello, I'm Mathilde. I'm queer and an auntie, and I'm generally confused, just not about that.
That's very helpful because this is Queer Auntie's Guide to the Galaxy, the podcast where we ask and answer all the questions you're too embarrassed to ask your friends. Right, are you ready for today's question?
So ready.
Okay, does she want me to break the touch barrier?
I don't know. What's the situation?
Oh, okay. You're at brunch.
Mm-hmm.
You're sitting across from each other.
Okay.
You're talking.
Mm-hmm.
You're having a great time.
How did you end up at brunch?
One of you invited the other one.
Okay.
You invited her.
Okay.
That's how you ended up there.
Okay.
You set the time and the place.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And now you're there.
Mm-hmm.
You're sitting across from each other
Mm-hmm.
and you're talking. Food's finished.
Mm-hmm.
You're having your second warm beverage
Yes.
and you're chatting and the vibe is really good. I ask you the question again. Does she want you to break the touch barrier?
I still need more information because this could be just a girly pop that I know because we're friends.
Oh. You met on Field.
Oh, okay.
You met on a dating app.
How is their body language?
They're leaning in.
Mm.
They're looking straight at you.
At my face.
No, kind of all over you.
Okay. Yeah.
Wait, what was the part that tipped it over the edge?
They're all over.
Okay, say more.
Because if you maintain like eye contact, not like we're having eye contact, or doing the up and down or just the perusing, that's very much a vibe sign.
Oh, the perusing?
The perusing. It's not like the up and down. It's just like the general perception.
Oh my goodness. I'm literally going through my brain thinking of how often I peruse. I thought I was just looking for cues. You know, like when you meet someone and you're trying to like situate them in space and time. And so I thought I was perusing. But now, come to think of it, I don't peruse everybody.
No. Because why would you?
Because I'm trying to situate them in space and time.
Yeah, but perusing takes appreciation.
I appreciate people.
Yeah, but like if you're just trying to figure out what's going on, then you're trying to perceive more than you're trying to peruse.
Oh my God.
Those are different things.
I think you've broken my brain. Because I also, like you, spend a lot of time like for work, talking to people and meeting people. And sometimes there's a version of no.
But it's like the difference between a walk and a stroll.
Oh.
Or like walking somewhere to get from A to B, or like taking a stroll.
Yes, because I will walk like what's her name? How to Get Away with Murder? Viola Davis. Yes. I walk like her.
Annalise Keating.
Thank you.
Yes.
I walk like Annalise Keating when I'm getting from A to B. I stomp around. But don't catch me with a girly pop.
No.
No stomps. Me? Never.
No.
I'm looking up ahead.
Yes.
I'm talking. I'm engaging in conversation.
Yes.
You'd be like, Annalise, is that you? This is so interesting when you say peruse. Okay, so she does want me to break the touch barrier. Right, but now, logistical problem. And we will get to the logistics of breaking the touch barrier very soon.
Okay.
With more embarrassing stories. How do you do it when you're sitting across from each other?
I would go, at some point, people are likely to put their hand on the table.
No, sorry, it's too much.
So I would go stroke the arm or like brush past the hand on the table.
But that's intentional. Because what if your hands are in your pockets?
No, it has to be on purpose. You're trying to be gay.
Okay.
It's not an accident.
So I take my hands out of my pockets because they were in my jacket pockets.
Yeah, they shouldn't be there anyway.
Don't worry about why.
No, but they shouldn't be there because you're on a date.
So where are my hands supposed to be?
Your hands are supposed to be visible so that you seem open. What are you trying to hide? Why are your hands in your pockets?
Maybe they were cold.
You're gesticulating, you're talking, you're engaging.
Yeah, let's be fair. I don't think I've ever spoken to anyone for a period of time with my hands in my pockets.
No,
okay.
I don't think so either.
Fine. So I'm gesticulating. Okay.
Yes.
But then my hands are up in the air.
Yeah.
I gotta land the
bring
plane.
them down, or at least one.
Just one?
Yeah. And then if you put your hand here,
no.
And then you just go like stroke.
No.
And this is why we know that we're not gay with each other.
Okay.
Because that felt weird.
It did. I'm like, what are you doing? Don't do it.
So you can't see us if you're listening to this, but I just gently stroked Tumi over her fingers. Nothing like super sexual occurred, and it still feels like something grave has happened. So
let's not do it again.
No.
Now I know.
Fun fact, that always happens when we do things for demonstration purposes, is that we go, ugh, every single time.
That was wrong.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's because we have the same nose. But
I'm supposed to do that on a date?
Yes.
Cool. Okay, because
it's very light. Like
it is a light touch.
That's not likely to feel creepy.
No.
But it does seem intentional.
And it feels nice.
And then if somebody doesn't like that, they'll take their hand and they'll move it towards themselves.
Okay. And then are we supposed to talk about that, or we just let it go?
No, then you just move on.
Okay, cool. Cool. I'm supposed to act calm.
Yeah.
Okay. This is interesting because say you're at dinner. Say this is a hypothetical situation. And you're at dinner. And you're eating some of the best meze you've eaten in your life.
Yes, please.
Okay. You're sitting across from each other. You've had 2 glasses of amazing red wine.
Yes. Can we go there now?
We can actually. No, we can't. We can't.
No.
Be serious.
No. Yeah.
Okay, so you've just had meze. Oh, delicious. The falafel made you dance.
Yeah.
You've had some red wine. And now, like, the table is, like, filled with stuff, you know, the empty plates and stuff. So they've come to clear away some of the plates. But there's still a little mess on the table. And the person you're sitting across the table from proceeds to move everything out of the way. What are you supposed to do next?
What do you mean?
Like they just move all the plates and stuff to the side so it's not between the two of you.
Yeah.
They've kind of like cleared
You don't have
the
to do
space
anything.
between the two of you.
You don't have to do anything. If you've already broken the touch barrier, I would say that this is a good time to go in for a kiss, but I would wait until they've cleared everything that's not supposed to be on the table.
I'm short, Mathilde. I'm supposed to lean over the table for a kiss?
No, you're supposed to move your chair so that you're not sitting directly across from them.
Oh.
You're not sitting next to them. Maybe you both sit at like the closest corners to each other. So it doesn't feel like super next to each other, but it's not like across.
Okay. Huh. Okay. Say that's not possible for whatever reason.
Okay.
Okay. Say it. This episode is only hypotheticals. We have no actual content besides examples. Say that's not possible. But now they have cleared the path. There were plates and stuff in front of you. And they've like kind of cleared them all to the side. Hypothetically, in your brain, you're like,
I'm visualizing.
Oh, I could just reach out and touch. Okay.
Yeah, I would do that.
Really?
If I'm too scared to touch for whatever reason, I think I would reach my hands out kind of a little bit away from my body towards them. And then I would kind of start fidgeting a little bit, like slowly, just to make the other person kind of aware that my hands are there. Because then you can also see if they're going to make the first touch move.
What is hilarious to me is I just imagine myself doing that and basically doing a shadow puppet show.
Yeah, so don't do that. Then it's better to just leave them there, kind of in front of you.
Okay.
But keep them closer to the table.
Okay.
So they're not being utilized, kind of.
Okay.
They're not busy.
This feels so embarrassing because a lot of this is like, how do I just act like a regular human being?
But I don't think that's true. I also think that it's not relevant that our lives have been very different in terms of like how much we've been able to date.
Yes.
Because these are also like you said, like how do you act like a regular person? I've been on probably more dates than the average person.
Fair.
So I have things that I think that they should be done this way. But that's also because I used to do this a lot.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
You can take the dog out the game, but not the game out the dog. You know what I mean?
That's actually beautiful. That's poetry.
Thank you.
So, I mean, I'm curious to hear, now that you have all this lived experience, I'm curious to hear because a lot of people in the queer community come with a lot of trauma. Bad shit's happened. Also, like, for example, being in a sapphic relationship or like dating sapphically, people have opinions.
Yeah.
Of like 2 women, 2 femmes touching and like being affectionate with each other. So how do you like navigate that and breaking the touch barrier, knowing that maybe this is happening in a public space and like does the other person feel okay with being seen to be queer?
Yeah. I think there's also an extra layer here if you're racialized. But I think for me, because of my specific lived experience, I would maybe clarify that before the date. I would say like, are you okay being seen in a romantic setting in this location that I've chosen?
Okay.
Because as someone who's dealt with a lot of fear when it comes to being openly queer in spaces, I definitely have spaces where I'm not comfortable being perceived as queer or doing anything that might be perceived as gay. So it's important to me to feel safe and that the other person feels safe. So I would clarify that beforehand, actually.
Okay. Now, I hear you.
Like if somebody thought that we were on a date in this location, how would that make you feel?
That would be the question you would ask. Interesting. Okay, but what if, just hypothetically, that question made you seem like you want something?
I think it depends on how you ask that question. Like I feel like the way I asked it now, like how would you feel if somebody saw that it seemed like we were on a date or seemed like we were acting romantic, makes it low stakes in my opinion. Also, if you're going on a date, saying like how would it make you feel if people saw that we were on a date is what's happening. You are out to get something. You're out to get a date. So like pretending to not want something is also disingenuous in a way because you are trying very specifically to go on a date with this person.
You might even be on a date.
Yes.
You don't know.
No,
what are
you
they?
You do know because
fine.
you clarify.
That's right. That's right. Clarity, duh. Okay.
So I wouldn't say that seems too pushy. And it depends on your relationship with this person, of course. But I think that that's a very good like blanket statement. Like, how would you feel if you were perceived to be? And then if it's someone you've dated for a longer time or someone that you've kind of have an ongoing rapport with, you could be more specific, like how would you feel if somebody saw us kissing in this location? Because I do think it's very important, especially in the political climate we're living in right now. I think that it's completely fair to have reservations. And that's very sad, but it is the reality that we're dealing with.
Yeah. I mean, the way that you explain it now makes it so comforting as well to know that like you've also had this conversation, that even this back and forth we're talking about, like, will they, won't they, in terms of touching each other, like you've actually already discussed it.
Yeah.
And going back to what I was previously saying in a previous episode about like the script, I don't think we are as like well versed in how to have these conversations when we are dating men.
No, they set a lot more of the pace, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And also there's a lot less room to be hesitant.
Yeah.
Because then you're perceived as prude, right? It's not perceived as a safety concern.
Yeah.
Even though it very much can be.
Yeah.
And you're not told to speak in the same way. And I think that in the queer community, regardless if you're talking to a man or a woman or anything in between or outside of, I think that those conversations come easier. But I also think that we're good at having conversations in the queer community about everything but what we actually need to talk about.
Oh.
So like we'll talk about queering of relationships and like how do you do this and what's not okay and blah, 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 blah. But we won't actually be specific about like intention because you're not supposed to want anything from your community. You're not supposed to do anything. So you can't just be like, hey, I would like to go on a date because I want to be romantically involved, because that somehow seems entitled.
Well, okay. I have a whole thing about this. Yeah. But sorry to cut you off.
And we can talk about that later as well. But I think that I have a very conscious relationship, especially when it comes to safety and queerness because of the terror attack that I survived. But I do think that we're not good enough at having conversations about specificity in situations.
100%.
At all.
100%.
So I don't want you to feel either that this is something that everybody just does, because it's not. But it's made my life a lot easier to do that.
Yeah, I mean, like in this will they, won't they kind of setup, what has been very comforting for me is just to ask like, hey, can I kiss you now? Like, I'm not trying to guess,
it's sexy as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to guess, okay?
No.
I'm grown.
Yeah.
Guessing games are for children. Like,
also the just the confidence of asking that, like it's hot.
Yes. Once, when I was feeling brave, I have actually said to someone like, I have nothing more to say to you. All I want to do is kiss you.
That's great. That's
It
fantastic.
The response was great.
I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's interesting because like a while ago, I would have never said something like that.
I know.
But I said it and I was like, first of all, yay me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. There's something so beautiful about being explicit. And I also agree with what you said about queer people. We can talk about everything. Okay, we can talk about the praxis. We can talk about the theory.
I was bored of everything.
We can relationship anarchy our way to hell and back.
To nowhere, actually.
Truly.
Yeah.
Because we're just circling around the table. It's like, yo, listen, it's okay to want romance.
Yeah, it's an intellectual circle jerk.
100%. Like, it's okay to want romance. Because I feel that's also embarrassing these days.
It's okay to want, period.
No.
It is.
But you're supposed to, like, strive for liberation. You can't want a kiss.
No, but you can't be liberated from want. That's not very human. That's just Gandhi, and he was weird. Like, to not want or need or have any kind of agenda with anything is not liberated. It's just pretentious.
I do feel this a bit. Because I feel like everybody's like, oh,
I feel it a lot.
Like, let's be in the struggle. And I'm like, okay, the world is on fire. If we just touched our bodies together, it would still be on fire.
We can smush while it's on fire.
Yes. And actually we will release, I was about to say oxy, and that's not what we will release.
Oxytocin.
Thank you. And like, it's important. Joy is important. And somehow this is not a joy you're supposed to center. You're supposed to center community and friendships and not kissing.
But you can center more things at once. And maybe we should talk less about centering and more about experiencing.
Ooh.
And I remember, I don't remember if it was 1 or 2 years ago, but when we first became friends and you told me, because I was having a rough time, and you told me or reminded me about it's a lot of like power in joy. That was so important for me to be reminded of at that time. And it really changed a lot of what I did for the next 6 months, because I had been like so caught up in the struggle and the kind of unjustness of everything and the theory and I didn't feel allowed to be joyful.
Yeah.
And I remember it was so like formative for me to be reminded of that again, because I haven't thought about it since I first started reading Queer and Black theory when I was like a young teenager.
Yeah.
So to have somebody say it to me again as an adult was like, oh, fuck, you're right.
Yeah. And
I think that we can theorize ourselves into nothingness, and we can intellectualize ourselves into loneliness, but we need to experience, and that comes with acknowledgement of ourselves as full people with wants and needs, both community, romantic, financial, and everything that comes between that.
Yeah, that's firstly, what a beautiful story. But that is so true. And I think there is this thing of like, I just want that like effervescence of a crush.
The giggly.
I want the giddiness, and I want to be trying. I want to be trying stuff. Yeah. And like, there's been so much rejection. But in that, it's also so beautiful to be like, hey, I tried a thing. Yeah. It didn't work, but I tried it, and I
learned something, and I felt something. And
and I learned about myself. I met myself in this moment, and it was so beautiful. We should want that for each other.
Yeah, we should.
And I think we do, theoretically.
Yes.
Or no, I think we actually want it for each other.
Yes.
But I don't think we actually embody wanting it for ourselves.
I think we're ashamed of wanting it for ourselves because we're not supposed to, because it's not enlightened.
Yeah. But then again, I like the color pink and rom-coms.
That's true. So maybe we'll get
music.
there.
So actually, I'm basic.
But point being, I think that being explicit and being upfront about wants, needs, and even expectations, if you have any, is a good thing. It's not, and if that's not something the other person jives with, then that's cool. But then you know that, and you're not going in with like mismatched views on what it is that's happening.
Oh. So you're not supposed to say, I'm cool if you're cool.
No, not if that's not true.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Because there's so much of this. I'm just going to leave that there. There's so much of this that is also like
performative.
People kind of going, oh, I'm open to any kind of connection. And it feels so...
If that's not true, then that is performative.
Sure. But like, it feels so wrong to be like, I'm actually not. I'm
But
actually
why
open
does
for
that feel wrong?
because you're supposed to be like, I don't know, I'm waiting to see if
Says
the vibe
who?
is right.
Says who?
I'm doing a shoulder shimmy. Says everyone. Everyone's like, I'm looking for the right kind of connection. I'm like, duh. But also like, I'm looking for this and this and this.
Yeah, but if you can, on a first date, I feel like you're allowed to look for the quote unquote right kind of connection, or you're allowed to look for it as much as you want. But if anyone at any point feels like this isn't the right kind of connection, then you're allowed to walk away from that. That doesn't make you an asshole.
No. But stringing someone along.
Yeah, but it depends on how long. Like if we're dating,
Okay.
you and I, absurd,
Cool.
I know. And then I know from the third date that I'm not interested.
Yeah.
And I keep going on dates.
Yeah.
That's stringing you along.
I agree.
If I'm not sure, or if I'm just not sure how to advance it, then I'm not stringing you along, right? So I think that also people hear somebody say they were stringing me along. I feel like they hear entitlement, but it very much is a real thing to be able to string somebody along. Like people do that.
Yes.
And it exists.
Yes. I have done it.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
It exists. It's my point. So I feel like, because I feel like every time anybody says that, they're perceived as being entitled.
Oh,
Like if you say like, hey, I feel like you were stringing me along.
Yeah.
Then that feels like I felt like I was entitled to more.
Yeah, and it feels like, oh, how dare you?
Yeah.
But like, nah, bro,
Yeah.
like for real.
For real. Yeah.
Like I'm not kidding.
No.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's also goes to being explicit, that it's okay to have conversations around that. And it's also okay to hurt people's feelings as long as it's not done on purpose. And if it's done with the intention of being real, I think it's okay to be like, both like, hey, I'm not into this. And like, that's okay. I don't want to be friends.
That's powerful. That's really hard.
It is.
Yeah, to just be like, I don't actually want to be friends.
No.
Okay. Oh. Even after you've broken the touch barrier?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because if I don't want to be friends, I'm kind of stringing you along emotionally, if not romantically, if I keep pretending. And now everybody's wasting their time.
There's a lot of truth that is coming out here. And
Beep, beep.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's super interesting, because I think there's like so many layers to this. It's like, you know, I find a lot of queer people I meet are also overthinkers.
Yeah.
I'm like, stop thinking. The problem is we think too much.
Yeah.
And so it's like you meet someone and then there's this awkwardness, this like inevitable awkwardness of will they, won't they? And then like maybe you break the touch barrier, maybe you don't. And then you already from that moment start freaking out that like, I'm not going to marry this person. So maybe I need to break it off because I'm going to hurt them.
That's so ridiculous. We need to stop doing that.
Yeah.
It's so silly. It's so silly. And I think a lot of people do that. And a lot of people are so scared of being mean. And I think they equate somebody feeling miffed to causing like actual harm. And there is a difference between being butthurt and genuinely harmed.
Yes.
And if you're like, that wasn't very nice, you're not going to die. It's okay to feel that way.
Yeah.
And it's okay to have made someone feel that way.
Yeah.
And that's hard for a lot of people.
That's really hard.
And especially in a community that is a minority in any way, shape or form, because you're so cognizant of not causing harm. But causing harm and causing butt hurt is not the same thing.
No. Oh, man. Oh, I just feel like everybody raise your hands right now. No, but you're so right. And I think that's like, if I think about myself, that's a lot of also like what is gripping me as well, like doing the wrong thing or like sounding like a creep or like moving too fast or like expecting too much. And then you've almost like got each of those things as like a log that you stack in between.
It sounds like you're decentering yourself in your own life.
Oh, okay. Well,
because you're centering how your behavior feels for everybody else. Not once have you said, I'm scared of me feeling this. You've just said, I'm scared of everybody else feeling all these things.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I'm increasing my tolerance for rejection. I would say one thing about me now. I can do it. Yes. And at the same time, I'm also afraid that if I break the touch barrier, I'm now at the bottom rung of a ladder that I'm not 100% sure how to navigate.
Say more things.
So I'm getting better at rejection at like breaking the touch barrier, for example, and then the person recoiling their hand. I'm like, okay, that's fine, bestie. Oh my God, yay. Okay. I think there's the flip side of that I'm realizing I'm equally, if not more afraid of, is I break the touch barrier. The other person is super into it. And now I'm like, oh, we need to keep going. Like we need to keep escalating. Yeah. And it might not be that encounter, but now there's like, that's the baseline now.
Yeah.
So now we're like climbing this ladder and like, I don't know if I'm going to keep living up to expectation because maybe you enjoyed the hand touch. You enjoyed the kiss. Maybe you're going to stop enjoying. And then it's like, oh, this person is actually gross and awful.
But you know how friends also break the touch barrier at some point, right? And then they find like a comfort level. So you'll probably have friends that you hug a lot or will sit closer to. And then you have friends that you don't do that with as much. It's because even if you haven't said it explicitly, those things are very easily communicated. So it's the same in romantic or sexual relationships.
What is?
That you find a comfort level. You don't have to keep escalating into oblivion.
Yeah, but if you're dating someone, this is like the thing that we're all trying to unlearn. But the script says if you're dating someone, you just keep going. You just keep going the whole way. I'm talking about like physicality and sex.
I understand. But like if you look at it like that, then like every Mormon should end up with rimming. And still, I doubt that is the case.
I am the first in my bloodline to hear that sentence. I'm gonna be real.
Like, I'm just saying, like, if you've then been married for 30 years, then you need to be like a sexual acrobat is what that sounds like. And that we know that not to be the case, right? So it's not a never-ending ladder of escalation. It's very much a communicative thing between the people actively in the relationship, is what I'm saying.
Well, I wasn't expecting that. That you can just agree what you both want.
Yeah, and you don't even like, because I think to what we were saying about like over complicating it, I don't always think it even needs to be a conversation. It can be. Yeah. And I would encourage people to use as few words as possible. You don't need to talk about it for half an hour. You can just be like, you into this? Yay? Nay? Okay, cool. Yeah. But you can people also tend to find the rhythm. Right. And we need to trust ourselves and trust our perception of what's happening and also trust that other people are able to communicate if they want more or less.
Well, okay. I mean, I guess that's really it. Like, there's nothing much else. And then to bring this to a close, I will ask you again.
Yes.
Does she want me to break the touch barrier?
If the vibe is gay, then probably yes.
Okay, well, that solves it. I guess until next week and next week's question. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.